Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to be making some cute little dish towels for 4th of July, and I'm really excited because I found these two little dish towels at the dollar spot at Target. I made my very first outing to a store in 3 months last week. It was the very first time that I have been in a store, and we needed a couple things, so I was brave and I went, and I could not help but swing through the dollar spot while I was there getting some other things that we needed. So I found these. They came in a 2-pack. I can't remember if they were $3 or $5 for the pair, but I thought they would be really pretty for the 4th of July. So I love these. I want to mention that this little striped one did come with tassels on the bottom, but I did end up cutting those off just because they just weren't really my style. I mean, the tassels are cute, but they just really weren't doing it for me. So the white one does come with some little tassels on it. So we're gonna do 2 dish towels with a little 4th of July design on each one of them, and I'm going to measure them out to make sure I get my design perfectly the same size that I want it. And then I'm going to be using some scissors and a weeding tool, and then I'm going to use my little mat here. This is my cute little new polka dot heat press mat, and I really love it. I'm also going to be using my 9x9 EasyPress for this project, and then for iron on we're going to be doing 3 different colors, and I'm super excited. So we are going to do a nice powder blue and a nice navy. Now these are both Caesar Easy Weed, and then I'm going to be using some Cricut glitter iron on, and this is the Glam Squad sampler. I haven't used it yet. I'm really excited, but I'm going to use this nice kind of berry color for the red to take place of the red, at least. I thought that would be really pretty, and it would add just a really fun sparkle to these towels. So I'm excited to show you the files that I'm going to be using. I will be sure to link where you can purchase these files down below if you want to get these SVGs, and I will also be linking the materials that I use, so be sure to always check out the description box if you want to take a closer look at anything. And I think we are all set other than just getting our little dish towel measured out. So I think I'm going to have my design at 4¼ inches on each one of them, and I did pre-wash my dish towels, and then I ran them through the EasyPress as a little iron to get them all nice and straight. So they are all washed, dried, and pressed and ready to go. So I'm going to keep my design at 4¼ in length going across. I think that will look really nice. So let's go ahead and get into Cricut Design Space, and I will show you the cute 2 designs that we're going to use to put on these little dish towels.
Okay, so I'm going to come over here to the bottom button on the left that says upload. I'm going to click that, and I am going to add a couple of the images I have recently uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and select these first 2 and then click insert images. If you need help knowing how to upload images to Cricut Design Space, I'll put a tutorial up in the corner so that you can know how to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I need to get these files all ready because they are all individual. If you'll notice here, these are all individual little cut files, and I want to get them all attached so that they just lay down really nicely on my project. And I also just want to make sure that on this, the white letters, they are actually little white, they're going to cut out on white things, but I actually want them to be cut out of this little United States. So right now these are, let me grab one so you can see. Let's see, which one is this? So this is actually going to be white vinyl that lays on top of the United States, but I'm going to actually slice it out of it so that this is just one piece with the little letters and stars cut out of it. So you guys will see what I mean in just a second. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to grab all of the little stars on this first cut file. So I'm just over in the layers panel grabbing all of those stars, and then I'm also going to grab all of the little letters that say America is my happy place. So I'm just grabbing all of those. And what I'm going to do is I am going to weld those all together. So now they are all one file. Do you see that? And then I'm going to go ahead and undo that so that they are in the right spot again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my United States, and I'm going to grab my weld result right up here, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say slice. So now what happens is I can take this out. Ooh, there's a few in there. Let's see. Okay, so now what I can do, it's weird that it has this little back one. I have this piece now that has the pieces cut out of it. So now I have, I can delete all of this. So let me delete, and I'm not sure this is supposed to be there. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. That little piece, I don't think it was supposed to be there. It was kind of glitching. Okay, so now I don't have white vinyl that's going to cut out and be placed on top of the blue vinyl. I actually have a one piece with just the little pieces cut out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is these are all going to cut just how I want them. Those look great. I'm going to attach my fourth that says happy and place. So I'm going to attach those together so that they cut out together. And then this file is going to be all ready to go. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and size this down. So again, I'm going to make sure that I stay at 4.5 for my width there. So I'm going to go, oh no, sorry, it was 4.25. I apologize. 4.25. So 4.252. That looks good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to this one over here, and this one's going to be fairly easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all of my little like colors are attached so that they cut at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to my layers panel, and I am going to grab all of the little stars, and I'm going to grab the word blue, and I'm just going to come down here and select attach. So now, whoops, that did not work. Let me go back. Okay, I must have grabbed something, but that's okay because I meant to show you what it would look like if I didn't attach. So I'm going to go through right here and I'm going to show you. So right here it has the wine glass, it has the red in a random order and it has the blue with all the stars, and then another one has the word wine and the dashes all mixed up. So the other towel that I had already attached has everything placed where I want it to be. So I have the words all in the right order because I've attached them, and then I have this all in the right order because it's all set to go. So now I just need to fix the other towel. So that's actually good that that didn't work the first time because I can show you why I'm taking all of these steps. So again, let me try again with let's do the dark blue layer first. Okay, so let me come up here and ungroup everything. Maybe that will help. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna grab yes, that did help. Okay, so we're going to start with those dark blue letters. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of my dark blue stars and the word blue, and I am going to go ahead and attach those. So now those are attached and they will then cut together. So I'm going to go ahead and hit undo so those line back up, and then I'm going to do the same for the wine glass with the and sign and the word red. And click attach. And then I can do the same for the word wine and the dashes. And I'm just clicking or holding down Command on my Mac keyboard while I do that so I can select all of them. And then I'm going to click attach. Okay, so now let me go ahead and select this whole thing. I'm going to size that down to 4.25 in width. And I can also just go up here and just type in 4.25 if I would like to as well. Now I can bring that right back down here. Now the last step I need to do is these two dark blues are not the same. So I want to make sure that they are the same so they cut on the same mat. So I'm going to come up here to color sync, and I do have a tutorial coming up on color sync. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this United States blue and bring it up to this blue so that they are all on the same mat and they match. So now I'm going to be also doing it with this red to make sure it matches. So I'm going to grab all of these little colors right there and then bring them up. So now everything is the same color. So we have one red tone, we have one dark blue tone, and we have one light blue tone. So that is just going to simplify our mats. So now I can go ahead, I have my Explore already selected, and I can go ahead and click Make It. So you can do this on the Joy, the Explorer Air 2, or the Maker. So whichever machine that you would like. I'm going to click Make It, and now you will see, let's see, I think we still need to move some mats around. I wonder why that color sync didn't work. Well, I will go ahead and just do this. I will say move object, and I will put it on this mat. So we're using 3 mats. Okay. So now the color sync worked on this one though, so that's interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that mirror is turned on all of my mats, and I'm going to make sure that I'm using as less material as I can. So I'm going to just kind of scoot these together. So I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to turn mirror on because I am using iron on, and I am going to rearrange this quite a bit. I'm going to do this, and then I am going to do this because I have just a tiny piece, let's do this, of that navy left, and I have another project in mind for it. So I want to make sure that I have a lot left over here. Okay, perfect. And then the last one, I'm going to mirror. And looks great. Okay, so I'm going to double check that my mirror is turned on all the mats that I'm doing. It looks good, and I'm going to click continue. So for my very first cut, I'm using that glitter iron-on for this red. So I am going to go to my materials and browse all materials, and I am going to go to iron-on, and I am going to say glitter iron-on right here. Now when I come back in to do the navy and the light blue, I'm going to select everyday iron-on for the Caesar Easy Weed. I feel like it is the closest and it works really well for Caesar Easy Weed. Okay, so I started those as my favorite so that they are in my little favorite section each and every time I come into this section of Design Space. So again, glitter iron-on is first, then we'll come back and switch to everyday iron-on for the final cuts, and we can click done. I'm going to use default pressure. Now I'm just going to get my mat loaded, and I'll place it in the machine and get everything cut out. I also want to show you how I'm going to get the temperature selected for this project. So first I'm going to use the heat guide for my glitter iron-on because that is Cricut brand. And I'm going to come up here, I'm going to use the Cricut EasyPress 2 today. For my heat transfer material, I'll come down here and select glitter. And then for my base material, my little towels are 100% cotton. I'm using the EasyPress mat, and I'll click apply. So that will tell me that I'm using 330 degrees for 30 seconds with light pressure, and then I'll flip and do an additional 15 seconds and do a cool peel. So then I'm going to come over to Expressions Vinyl because that is where I like to get my Caesar Easy Weed, and they have a little heat settings section on their website as well. If you go up to their website, let's see, I'm going to try to find just the home page here. If you are on their home page, you just will go to machine settings, and then this will pop up, and then you can come down here to HTV settings chart right here, and then it will open up a tab. So I'm going to be using Caesar Easy Weed HTV, so it will show me this little section right here. It's going to be at 305, so we're going to cool down our machine, and then we're going to do 10 to 15 seconds hot or cold peel with medium pressure. So I'm going to refer to both of these. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the glitter first because it requires a hotter temperature, and then I'm going to cool my machine down and do the Caesar Easy Weed second. That way I can press that on at a smaller temperature. Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, so I just have my machine set to custom for the dial. I usually just set my dial to custom. Actually, I just always set my dial to custom because for my Joy and my Maker, I have to select my settings in Design Space anyway for my cut settings. So I just set mine to custom all the time and just do my settings in Design Space because I'm already used to doing it that way. Okay, so I'm going to use this pretty berry color. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just going to grab, let's see, there's a little piece of tape on it. I'm going to grab this and put it down on my mat. So I'm going to put it shiny side down on the mat. So there's one side that's definitely more shiny than the other. And I'm going to put it this way so I can kind of get it to lay flat. And I'm excited to see how this turns out. Is this my first? No, I have done another glitter iron-on project. I was going to say, have I done glitter yet? Glitter is a little out of my comfort zone, but when I do it, I really like it. It looks really good, but it's not really my first choice to think of. Okay, so I'm just going to use my brayer tool. I really like to use this to really get my materials flat, and that glitter can be really stiff because it was rolled up. So I'm just going to get that laying really nice with my brayer tool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and load that in my machine, and then again, it's on the glitter iron-on setting in Cricut Design Space, and it's going to get this one all cut out. Okay, so that first one is done, so I'm going to go ahead and unload. I'm going to flip my mat over and just grab the glitter right off of that. And then I'm going to load, let's see, and it says in Design Space what the next color is. So it just goes to the next mat, and it is calling for the navy. So I'm just going to grab the navy piece. Again, I'm going to do shiny side down, and I'm going to lay that right on my mat. And then I'm going to run into Cricut Design Space real quick. Oops, I didn't get that quite straight, and I do want to make sure that this piece is pretty straight. I am really trying to save scraps on this one. I have a project coming up with navy, and I think this is my last piece of navy that I could find. So I need to make sure that I have a nice substantial piece for that next project. Okay, so I'm going to run into Design Space. I'm going to grab my everyday iron-on setting at default pressure and make sure that that is all ready to go. Okay. I'm just going to cut this out. And in the meantime, what I can do is grab my paper trimmer and I can get my scraps cut off of this. Okay, so I'm just using my paper trimmer to get a nice clean cut on my extras here, and I'm being really careful, kind of looking at an angle so I can monitor where my cut is, so that I don't cut into my design. I really like these files. I got them off of design bundles. I really like going to design bundles to find some of my files. They're just really cute, and I love getting pre-made stuff because it's quick, it's easy, and it's just, they always look nice. So now I'm just going to bring my scissors in and just kind of get a little bit more scraps off, and then we'll get to weeding. Okay, so I have all my pieces all ready to weed, but I'm going to real quick go ahead and preheat my EasyPress. So I'm going to do the glitter first, and I'm on the Cricut heat guide, and again it says to do 330, so I'm going to select my temperature button, and I'm going to time that down to 330, and then it says for 30 seconds, so then I will select the timer button, and I will bump that up to 30 seconds, and we're just going to let that preheat while we get our pieces weeded. Okay, so I'm just going to start weeding out all of my little pieces, and I saved as much scraps that I want to save, so you can go ahead and save more if you'd like. I am going to part with a little bit of material today, but I saved what I want to save, so you can again save more if you would like to. So now I'm just going to go with the glitter first, and I'm going to remove all of the surrounding area. This is going to be so pretty. I'm checking to see if any glitter comes off on my hand. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I like the look of glitter, but I don't craft with it much because I do not like mess. So this is the extent that I go with glitter, and it like just little tiny flecks come off, but is so much more contained than loose glitter. So loose glitter is like a hard no for me. Okay, so that is the little scrap piece, and then I'm going to go through my middles and just grab the little middle pieces and get those out. Now this is a sticky back too, so it is really going to be helpful when we go to place it on our towel with just centering, and I love working with iron-on. Let me know if your favorite is iron-on or adhesive vinyl, because I started out with adhesive vinyl. I think that's very beginner friendly, and then I quickly moved to iron-on. Iron-on is very beginner friendly as well, but it just, you know, requires a heat press or an iron, and just required some more tools and things, so I kind of waited for a little bit. Okay, so then this is why you mirror, because we're going to actually lay it down with the sheet on top. It's already built in, so that's awesome. And then that's the first one, so I'm just going to set this to the side, and then I'll do the second glitter piece as well. I love how that glitter looks. That looks really nice. So this one is going to be, I think, the red wine one. I loved this little file. I thought this was so cute with the little wine glass on there. Okay, and then down here is a little and sign, so I want to be careful and make sure I get all of that. Okay, looks great. So again, just going through and getting the middles out and being careful to just not tear anything, so just take your time. The glitter is a little bit more of a stiff material than you'll find with just iron-on or Caesar Easy Weed, so you'll just kind of be careful because the stiffness can kind of cause you to really want to pull on it. Okay, so there's the next one. Oh, that's so pretty. I love the little glitter of the wine glass and everything. Okay, so I'm going to set them kind of in their areas where they're going to go. So we're going to do this little America one. How cute is this? I love this look. I'm so excited for the 4th of July. 4th of July will look a little different this year. We're still safe at home, so we're going to be not doing anything much different than we have been doing for the last few months, but add a little bit of sparklers into the mix, I suppose. Sparklers and popsicles. I'm going to grab this a little piece. There we go. So cute. Okay. And then for this one, we are actually going to be weeding out the little letters inside, and make sure the little middles of the letters stay put as I weed little surrounding areas. There we go. So we're going to weed the little letters out of the little United States. There we go. It's going to look really nice. Okay, so still just grabbing these little letters and taking my time because there are some like the little middles of the R's and the A's that need to stay put on the carrier sheet. And now that I'm done with all of my letters, I'm going to go through and get all of the little stars. So I thought it was going to look neater and just easier, in my opinion, to slice these out so that they are cut out of the navy instead of doing white vinyl on top of the navy, but you can do however you would like because the file is built to have, you know, that piece on top, so it's just personal preference. All those little stars came off really nice, so I'm going to make sure that I got everything in this one and turn that around so you can see. That's so cute. I love how that looks. So that is just going to be placed right in here. And you'll want to, and I'll do that too, you'll want to look at your design space so that you can see how everything lines up. So that's going to line up just like that. That's going to be so cute. Oh, those colors together. What do you guys think? Those colors together look really, really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one as well. Guess it goes this way, doesn't matter though. And this is going to be, let's see. Oh no, I did have it right the first way. It's so hard when it's mirrored to know which way you're doing anything. Kind of makes your brain have to work backwards. Okay, so I'm gonna, now I decided to attach all of these so that they all went down in one piece. And again, that's personal preference. I feel like it just makes the project faster and easier, but if you want to save more material and not do it that way, you do not need to attach. You can just cut them all out separately if you would like. It's just up to you and your crafting preference. Okay, so this is then going to be over here. So this will go, ooh, I might have to put that other one down first, but this will go somewhat like this. See how sticky that is? Oh, I guess you guys can't really see that, sorry. So I kind of like to layer as I go, and this is not how you lay it down on the material, of course, but it will just kind of get an idea of where everything needs to go. Something like that. Okay, and then we have just our little light blue piece. I think these colors all go really well together. And I was really just following the direction of the file. They kind of had that look all together already. So sometimes color combinations, when they're pre-done for you, just are so well. Sometimes I don't think to put these three colors together. I would have thought the navy, of course, and you know, a red or a dark maroon, something like that for 4th of July, but the powder blue I wouldn't have thought of, and I think that's going to look really nice. Okay, and I don't think I have any middles to weed out on this one. So then this little one will just go right in here. Super cute. Oh my goodness, that's going to be really fun. Okay, so the reason I did that is because now we can kind of center it on our little towels, and then we can pull up the everything but the glitter, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, so that will make much more sense in just a second. And our EasyPress is all preheated, so we are all set to get going. Okay, so now I just need to decide which towel is going to get which design, and I don't think I can go wrong on deciding for this. So this is going to go in my kitchen, obviously, and I think this will go in a bathroom. Oh my goodness, I don't know. They're both so cute. I think I might do, because this light blue is on light blue, you can't really see it as much, so I'm going to switch that around, and I'm going to do it over here. I think that's the right choice. Okay, so now I'm just going to place that where I want it. I think I'll do that one first. Well, I'm actually going to be doing all of the glitter first, so I'll just set this to the side. And what I did was I did iron these, and so now when I open them up, you can see a little crease of where the middle is. So I'm going to just use that crease as a little guide for centering. And I'll just lay my little design right down where I'd like it. Just get it as visually center as I can. I think that looks really good. And I can even, if I'd like to, I could fold that back up. And this is sticky, so it will just stay there. I could fold that back up and see if I still like it, because this will be how it hangs. And I think that looks nice. I'm going to go for it. Okay, so now I'll just lay it back down. I want it nice and flat on that EasyPress mat. And what I can do is now I can remove, I'll just hold on to my glitter layer, and I will remove every other layer. So the reason I wanted all of the layers layered on top of each other for this initial part was that I could just get everything centered, because it's hard to center with just one layer, because this red layer, you kind of need to balance out this side with the stars and the word wine. So just having it all together helps center. So now I'll just peel off the other layers. Okay, and we're just left with the one. So now, oh darn, I didn't preheat my material. I'm such a rule follower that I need to do that. Okay, I'll put that back. Preheat for 5 seconds. It's probably going to ruin my crease now. Let's see. The preheat is pretty important. It just removes any moisture from your design, or from your material. Let me see if I got that straight. Sorry for that mess up, but I do want to make sure these turn out really good. Okay, so that did end up looking good. I'm going to take my other layers off. Okay, and now I can do 330 for 30 seconds. So I'm going to lay my press right over top, and I'm going to click the Cricut button, and it will count down. It says light pressure, so I'll just kind of keep a hand on there and just give a little bit of pressure. And then this is going to be a cool peel. So it does say flip and press for 15 seconds. I'm going to wait till all of my pieces are down, and then I'll do a final press on the back of each after that. That way we can just do them all at once. And it just says that for the Cricut brand, but I've just gotten into the habit of doing it for iron-on in general. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set this to the side and let that cool down, and we will grab our second one and make sure this is all ready. So we're going to follow the same steps. We'll just kind of drape this here, let it cool. We're going to follow the same steps, and make sure that we like where this is. We're not going to forget to preheat though. So let me do that first, get that out of the way. Do a little 5 seconds there. And I'm just preheating in the area that I have the design going down. And I'm just going to refold that for a second just so I can get my design where I'd like it. I think that looks really good. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now I will grab this little navy piece off, set it to the side, grab my press, and we'll do the 330 for 30 seconds at light pressure. Okay, so this is almost done, and I'm going to pull up my other machine settings because the next setting for the Easy Weed is going to be at the 305. So I'm going to come over here and I am going to time this down to 305 and get this all cooled off. And it's going to be for 10 to 15 seconds. So I will just go over here to the timer button and time this down to 15 seconds. And we'll just let that cool off. Now, just by removing this from the EasyPress mat and placing it over here, this is already cooled. It really helps when you just remove it from the mat because that mat holds a lot of heat in it. So if you want your project to cool down faster, take it off the mat. So now I'm just going to peel this off. And we're left, oh my gosh, it looks really pretty. We're left with our design right on there. So now I can go ahead and get ready for the press to be cooled down and I can lay down my next layer. So the next layer is going to be the navy blue. And it doesn't matter because both of those layers are actually going to use the same, the same settings, the same heat settings. So, oh, that looks really good. Okay, so I'm just going to take this layer off. Now I have some exposed HTV right up here and right here. So I want to make sure that's covered. So I'm going to go ahead and place my carrier sheet with from the glitter right back over that. That way it protects the glitter from my press. So you don't ever want to press on just bare HTV or iron-on. Those terms, by the way, are used interchangeably. So if you hear HTV or you hear iron-on, it's the same thing. Okay, so that's already cooled down. So we're going to go ahead and place our press over there. We're going to do medium pressure at 305 for 10 to 15 seconds. I tend to do the 15. Okay, and that first one is done. It does say hot or cold. I'm going to just let it be a cool peel because I can just do this one one after the other. So I'm going to lay this one over here. I got a nice little rotation system going on. I can peel up my glitter. Set that to the side and grab my little America and place it right in there. That looks so cute. And again, covering my HTV with that carrier sheet so it protects the glitter pieces. And then placing this one on there and putting the timer. Now since this one has only, oh goodness, I left a piece under there. Oh, it came off. No, I didn't leave it. It came off with the that carrier sheet from this one came right off under there. Goodness gracious. Okay. So now since this was only 2 layers, what I can do is I can turn this over and I'll do my press on the back because this is done after this press. So this one will be all done. So I'm just going to let that cool and then I can take my sheet off. Okay, so this one is pretty warm, but this Caesar Easy Weed was a warm or a cool peel, or hot or cold. And it's all ready to go. So now what I'll do is I will just add my little wine piece here. And I'm actually going to put my EasyPress mat protective sheet right over this because all the little pieces keep falling off. So this provides a barrier on the bare HTV as well. You can just place this over there so that it protects the pieces that already have their carrier sheet taken off. And then I'll just do the last press. Probably should have just done that for all of them because the other little sheets were just coming right off. And again, now we will go ahead and flip this and do the back. And be careful with this carrier sheet because, or not carrier sheet, this protective sheet because it gets really hot. So you'll just want to grab at the corners and be really gentle. So now I'll just go ahead and turn this one over and do the 15 seconds on the back. And this will be completely done as well. Okay, so both are cool enough to peel, so I'm going to peel this up right here and just making sure that I monitor any areas that didn't come or quite get down, and if I need to repress, I just would make sure that I would place my carrier sheet or protective sheet back over so that it would protect everything and repress, but everything laid down really nice, so I can be done with that. And then this one is done as well, so I can just go ahead and peel that up, and I'll zoom in and show you the final look. Okay, so those are the final towels. I love how they turned out, and I really especially love how that glitter turns out. So I need to remember how much I love it in the end because it's not always my first go-to to use glitter, but then it just looks so pretty. And I love the cutout of this. I think that was really neat to slice that out because it just looks really easy, or really neat, and it is very easy to do and lay down, and it was one extra step. So I really like how those look. Well, let me know which one is your favorite. Usually I find a favorite, but I kind of like both of them, and I like that they have different backgrounds. I like that there's a stripe and a star because they just make them look so different in addition to the different designs. So be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know which one was your favorite. Let me know what you guys are doing for the 4th of July, if you're doing anything special, if you're even able to do anything special. And be sure you're subscribed. There are some fun things coming up, especially in tomorrow's video. You guys will love that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you all have a safe 4th of July.